Good morning, everybody. Give everybody a second here, but good morning or good afternoon, depending on which coast you're on. I want to thank our guests, Mara and Chris, for joining us this morning. I believe this is our third Chris Tip Tuesday, and it's probably our most important one that we'll do throughout the year. We're going to talk about our mission statement today and kind of our values and where we want to kind of plant our flag going forward. And so in pursuit of this mission, we have Chris here to kind of just read you our mission statement, give you some context to where all this came from and where we're going. And then we also have Miss Mara here, who manages our marketing and our social content. So she has an important voice in this as well. So if you guys have used our Reside tool, or you just know of this, you know it's our mechanism for us to pull contacts for your database. And we're asked a lot of questions around the filtering of that and how we pull those contacts. And from day one kind of my role here, it was kind of firmly cemented into me, the culture that we have here of kind of anti-discrimination in marketing and not drawing hard lines. So I'm excited for this part of the process to kind of be the forefront of this new statement moving forward. And I'll let Chris I'll pass the baton over to Chris and let him really formally give you our statement moving forward. But I'm excited for this part to be in this group because you guys are our customers. You guys are the people that we interact with every single day. So I'm really hopeful that you guys want to be part of this conversation and you want to hear about and be part of the valuable part of this conversation. So I'm excited. Thank you, Chris, for joining.
Yeah, glad to be here and to share this. This is it's an evolution, at least for me. I don't know everything, and I'm trying to learn. And so this evolution, this process from a marketing standpoint, and where our company sits, we kind of had this idea, as you mentioned, Katrina, when you started that you knew that that's what we were thinking, and we've obviously been thinking that way for some time. But it's sort of matured now, and now we have this formal like mission statement change to our mission statement to really encompass that idea. So it's one sentence, right? So it's not a whole lot, but I think it speaks a whole lot. So Revaluate is automating efficiency in move-oriented data segmentation marketing, while leading the way for socially conscious and anti-discriminatory marketing practices. Pretty cut and dry, but again, I think that's pretty powerful. And we're not the biggest company out there. We don't have the biggest social presence or anything like that, but yet it's still, I think, important to say, look, this is where we are. This is what we believe. We're planting that flag in the ground.
And we've been, I've been with Revaluate for a good amount of time too, and that was also drilled into me. But making this mission statement now, kind of making our statement, like why now? Like why did we decide to do it now?
Yeah, it's part of that process, but we really became aware that, like, sometimes you see a problem and you think, oh, that's someone else's problem, that's some other issue, that I don't have to deal with that, right? And in this case, we get inbound requests from prospects, customers that are saying, hey, I'd really like a database for this area, and can you exclude all of this race, right? Or can you only give me this race or religion? I would like to only have contacts in this geography that are this specific religion, or omitting this specific religion. And it's like, whoa, that is absurd. Like, I don't think that some of the people, and I wrote about this in the blog post yesterday, right? On MLK Day. I don't think that everyone that comes and asks those questions is doing so from a malicious standpoint, right? Like I think there's good people that are just, they need to think about what they're asking more. Is that fair? I don't know.
I think there's, all of this stuff violates HUD laws, right? But there's no, besides, NAR, not every real estate agent is a realtor as well. So there's no governing body who's checking in on, there's millions of agents in the country who's checking in on these gray areas of, they violate HUD law, but there's no oversight. But also there's plenty of gray area between the rules too, especially when, we're all business people. We're all just trying to, do our job at the best that we can. And sometimes doing the best that we can, I feel like for some people falls in those gray areas. And unfortunately, you have to be super mindful, or or platforms like us need to be responsible for not giving people those opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. I think real estate agents, we were talking with a couple of other members on our team, Heather and Molly, and the topic came up that real estate agents have, lots of training around steering, right? So they know what that looks like, and they know that they're not supposed to be a part of steering people into, oh, this is your neighborhood or not. But there's a whole nother level to that. That's like, there's more that needs to be discussed here and talked about, and it's not being talked about in our space.
And especially because, other platforms kind of enable it too, so it takes people like marketers, directors, executives, people in positions like you, Chris, to really just make the decision for them and say, we're not going to do polygon zoning. We're not going to, I think a lot of this stemmed from a conversation that we talked about with Facebook when Facebook got their wrist slapped for HUD laws, and being able to really directly target people with Facebook ads with, oh, I only want to target people with 2 kids under the age of 13 who have this kind of income, who live exactly in this zip code, which you can get very, very granular before the new ads changed. But now when you target for Facebook ads, as a marketer, I cannot target. It's very difficult in the real estate space. I'll tell you that. Anybody who's working in Facebook ads or any kind of ads in real estate, hats off to you. We're following the rules, but it makes our job a little bit more difficult. But, now you can't even target zip code. It gives you like a 10 to 15 mile radius around a zip code that you want to target. So it's kind of, tech is trying to, abide by these laws so people aren't enabled to do it.
But as marketers, people, go ahead, Katrina. Sorry.
Nope. I was just gonna say be held accountable, right? That's
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
As marketers, we're trained to think about niche marketing and really doing just that, drilling in and we love efficiency at Revaluate, right? You'd be way more efficient if you could really hone it in and get the exact person with the exact demographics and the exact blah, blah, blah that you know is going to say yes at a higher percentage, or you believe would say yes at a higher percentage. So how do you shift then from a mindset of super niche, hyper local marketing to then saying, well, I don't want to discriminate. I want non-discriminatory marketing to be sort of the backbone of my marketing, which I think people would agree with in general. Like, yeah, that sounds good. I would like to have non-discriminatory marketing.
I would love not to be discriminated against.
But but that gray area that you're talking about, Mara, is so, there's so many shades, and there's depth to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think planting the flag now, saying this is our mission statement, and also saying we don't have all the answers.
Right.
Let's have more conversations. Let's discuss where this should go. Let's put a rudder on this ship. I don't know what the analogy is, right? But
I think it's at a good time. I think the industry is really ready for something like this. There's a lot of change happening legally with HUD, with, all that stuff. So it's definitely coming into better communication, more transparency. That's a huge thing that's happening in the industry right now. We saw right before Christmas that Redfin, Realtor, and Trulia, they took off their crime map. And bypass, I actually worked at Realtor.com when the crime map got that product was available when we launched it, and it was a big deal. And it, honestly, personally, I used it. I saw, okay, what neighborhoods are looking a little red, maybe that's not where I want to be, but another gray area, right? Does crime equate to people not moving to certain areas or not being moved out of certain areas? So, that was, I think, a huge, that's not covered by HUD, is crime maps laying over, real estate maps. But I think it was a good move to start, taking these features off. But I don't know if Realtor.com or these big names are going to make mission statements like ourselves. So it puts us in a perfect position to be the conversation starter and have an open dialogue about it too.
Well, I think we should ask them to have those conversations internally and say, do you think it would be right to have mission statements be changed to incorporate that?
Mm-hmm. And I was just going to say, I feel like it is a perfect spot for us to plant our flag because we come in pursuit of sending the right message to the right person at the right time. So how do we do that and market the right person that is going to be receptive to that message without leaving others out? And so
For sure.
having this conversation and then opening up more conversations so that we can find more actionable steps is the next step to this. So
Yeah.
that includes our audience and everybody else and finding the next steps forward.
So I'd like to, I mean, we've just said it, but I'd like to look more at specific tools and methods and how marketers can be thinking about this and what lens should they be looking through to determine whether or not they're doing anything accidentally nefarious, right? So again, I think people are not trying to do things incorrectly on purpose.
Nope.
Most of the time.
Yeah,
But
yeah, if there's business opportunity and the tools
Right.
like you do, like, oh, okay, it's fair game, right? Especially
Yeah.
when a lot of these tools are universally used, across the industry. So it just seems norm, but I think it's time to take a step back and really reevaluate
Ooh.
what you're doing, with your business moving forward. And I think from a reevaluate standpoint, we're all about the data. There's no unconscious bias, right, when it comes to just pure numbers. And like Chris said in the beginning, we don't give our customers a lot of data that would be against HUD laws. So it's time to take a step back, and maybe there's just a different way of looking at how you do marketing, but it's really going to take some creativity, some thinking outside the box, or other platforms and tools. It's a great business opportunity, too, to see what can expand in this branch of our industry.
Yeah, awesome, Mara. Well said.
Agreed. Yeah, awesome. Well, I think this was great. It's a heavy conversation. It's a short, but it's a heavy conversation, and there's a lot to think about to move forward. I did link above the video here. You'll see the blog post that Chris published. So if you want to read into this some more, it should be right above there. If you have any questions, you want to be part of this conversation, go ahead and comment below. We'd love to hear from you guys. It's so important to include you guys. This is your industry. You got to have a voice. So let us know what you think. And we're excited to announce next steps to this, hopefully soon. Chris, Mara, do you guys have anything else you'd like to share?
I would just say, yeah, we want to hear from you. I would love to get your opinion, and whether that's a phone call or a chat or an email, you can hit me up at chris@revaluate.com. I'd love to get your feedback and have you be a part of the conversation, or behind the scenes, not a part of the conversation. I'd love your feedback.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us this morning, and we'll be back next Tuesday. Ian will be back for his partner pairing, so he's got some fun information for us. We'll post details to that in a couple days in the group, so stay tuned. We'll see you next week. Have a wonderful week. Bye, guys.
Bye.